Right, hello everyone. Have I stopped myself in a party? Yes, I have. Right, hello everyone. Welcome to Friday night with PRF1, Circular 9505, and we are at round 15 of the season. Portimao. What a track! What a track! This is going to be a great race tonight. I'm 100% sure of it. As always, it's full qualifying, 50% race. Now, we are going to have our little pre-race interview, so I'm going to invite Dart Mark in, who we've not spoken to before. Well, we've spoken to him on the podium before, but never a pre-race interview. We'll get him in. I think that's him joining now. I'm actually just away from the Xbox, so I'm shutting all the curtains and stuff. There we go. Dart Mark, you there? You're there? Excellent. Just give a second and you'll be able to include your audio. Right, there we go. You should be able to include your audio now. All good?
All good.
Excellent. You're very, very quiet.
Oh.
There we go. That sounded a bit better. Right, excellent. Well, hello. Thanks for joining, mate. I hope you're well and everything.
Yeah. Not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Just hoping for a better evening
Better
of
evening
racing
this week.
compared to when.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when Wednesday this week in my other league wasn't very good.
Oh, it didn't go so well. Okay. Well, this is
No.
PRF1. It'd be different, mate. It'd be awesome. Don't you worry. It's a
Yeah,
hell of a
okay.
track. Do you like Portimao?
I don't mind it. It's one of those tracks of survival. I
Yeah.
think
I've
capitalising on other people's mistakes.
I've found I run 20 32 wings around here now. So 20 on the front, 32 on the rear. And I've found that takes away most of the risk of spinning. So, but obviously it
Yeah, may
slows you
have
down a
to.
bit on a straight. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, may have to adopt that. I mean, I think I'm running a 2026. I think.
2026. So well, it's quite similar to actually, to be fair. But yeah. Okay, mate. Well, how do you see your season going so far? What's it? Is it? Are you meeting your expectations?
Uh, Not too bad. Not too bad. I mean, I didn't expect to be competing with the top sort of three, four drivers. So
Yeah,
fifth, anything from fifth, around fifth, sixth. But
that sort of
yeah, we'll
areas. And
see.
you're sat in fifth at the moment, on 158 points. So you're only 6 points behind Shrek, who's in fourth. And there's a huge battle actually between loads of you going on for P3 in the championship.
Yeah,
Sort
it's
of,
close.
yeah. Cammy and Spreader are sort of off on their own somewhere, and then
Yeah,
but then there's loads of you, absolutely loads of you, right the way down to 10th, I would say, which is, oh no, that's Grezza, he doesn't race on Fridays anymore, so down to 9th, Robbo, really, I would say.
yeah.
So, yeah, should be
Well, as long
interesting.
as I beat my brother, I don't care.
Okay, just for everybody out there, who's your brother?
Goober.
Gumba. I knew that, mate, I was just, people watching might
No,
not know
it's a
it.
bit of banter. It's a bit of sibling banter, really. You know what I
Fair
mean?
enough, I mean,
He's not.
yeah.
He's not having the best of seasons.
No, I was
So
going to say, you're safe at the moment, you're 130 points ahead of him,
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
I'm sure he
yeah,
won't mind us mentioning that. Um,
yeah.
Okay, so you're a Williams driver, and the trying to
I
find the
seem to
way
be the
around the
only
blooming
constant Williams driver. My team
yeah.
seems to change.
And to be fair, I think that's been a bit of a problem for you as a constructor as well. So you're in seventh. Again,
Mm,
though,
mm.
it's all to play for the third place. It's the top two again are sort of racing off into the distance, but it's still all to play for. Well, a couple of good weekends, and you're right back in the shout third. So you
Yeah,
know,
as I say, hopefully t I get some decent sort of constant teammates and constant goal score, point scoring, and see what
yeah,
happens. I mean, I always try and just have a clean race and get it as high as possible, but I never expect, especially in this league with the caliber of drivers that are in it. I mean, there's so many drivers in here that if they have a good week, you know, could
yeah,
potentially put me down to like a seventh or eighth place finish every week. You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah, there's certainly plenty of fast drive.
And
Well,
so
it's a really close league, in all fairness.
yeah, it is.
The
It
closeness in
definitely is.
qualifying in recent weeks has been insane. So, yeah, it's really good.
Yeah,
Um, just looking ahead a little bit then to the rest of the season. Obviously, we report tomorrow tonight, and then we got Silverstone Spa. It's a US flag. I think that's his Kota, because I think we did Miami already. I think it might be the other way around now.
yeah, I remember actually.
Um, we got the Hungarian, Canada, Baku, Brazil, and Abu Dhabi. So is that a good running for you? Would you say?
The last five races are a good running.
Good. Okay. We'll see how you get on then. So you're definitely going to be
I'm
trying to push for that
not
third
too,
spot, really.
yeah, I'm not too keen on the next two,
Okay.
but yeah, the ones after that, I don't mind them.
And Baku, let's be honest, right at like close to the end, they're free from the end. You may as well throw a dart at a dartboard. It's that random, really, because
I
you just never know what's going
love
to happen.
Baku. Yeah,
It
love racing
depends where
there.
you are after the fifth safety car. So, um, but yeah,
Yeah,
no, I
that's
love
it. Yeah,
Baku as well, mate. It's my favourite track to drive on the game in a way. It's my absolute favourite. Love it. So
yeah. I mean,
yeah,
if there's anyone listening, everyone's going to know what my
they think
favourite is. So
they think we're nuts. They're all like, oh, Brazil or Monza or something like that. Boring, aren't they? So yeah. Um, um, right, okay, mate. That's the serious questions done and out the way. So I don't know if you've listened back to some of the interviews I've done recently, but we do.
I have.
You have, so
Yeah,
you know what's coming.
I've done some prep, and I actually wrote my answers down.
Oh, did
But
you? Should I
I've
do them in different
I've
order,
left
just so you got
but
to try and
I've
like?
I've left my phone downstairs where I've noted them down, so
Oh no.
I remember.
Okay, all right. So, well, we do our quick fire questions first. It's all what or who is your favourite? Okay, so
Yeah,
as always, we start with the easiest one. So, what is your favourite colour?
blue.
What's your favourite food?
My wife makes a really nice cheesy pasta, like with
Ooh,
bacon bits and mushroom bits and bits like that. Cheese sauce, lovely.
nice. What's your favourite animal?
Uh, I said dog probably.
Okay, your favourite Formula One team?
Recently I would say it's I don't know. It's a tough one. Can I say an historical one?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, then Brawn GP then.
Brawn. Wow. Okay, that's a good
Yeah.
one. I'm glad that wasn't your favourite food as well, though. If you ever had brawn, oh, ugh, it's
No.
disgusting. What's your favourite drink? Favourite drink?
Fosters.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
love,
Foster's. Sorry, I thought I'd
yeah,
lost you there for a
yeah.
second.
No,
Okay,
no, no.
Foster's. Other lagers are available. What's your favourite, or who is your favourite singer or band, past or present?
Not to everyone's taste, but my favourite band is Bullet for My Valentine.
Okay, I've never heard of them, so I couldn't tell you if it's my taste or
Yes,
not.
it's a metal band.
Ah, right. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
No, not my taste. Okay,
No.
what's your favourite football team?
Liverpool.
Formula One track.
To watch would probably be Baku, but to race on, it has to be Canada.
Cool. Okay, favourite TV show?
At the moment, Hunted.
Okay.
Celebrity
Um,
Hunted at the moment.
I'll see if I could get an answer to this one this week. Who is your favourite Doctor Who?
David Tennant.
David Tennant, excellent choice. Who is your favourite Formula One driver, past or present?
Yes, Jensen Button.
Excellent. And who is your favourite PRF1 admin?
I don't know all the admins, but I know obviously the one that sticks out to me is probably Spreader.
Oh, that's minus 10 points straight away. Wow, unbelievable. Um, right, okay, that's the quickfire questions finished then. Well done, nice answers there, mate. Braun GP, who'd have thunk it, even though Jenson Button one is, it does make sense, Jenson Button favourite
Exactly.
driver, he won his title there,
Yeah.
so yeah, fair enough. And Rubens Barrichello is teammate, my favourite driver, other than Michael Schumacher. Rubens Barrichello is my favourite, so yeah, loved
Yeah.
him. Brazilian legend.
Legend of F1 he is. To be fair.
Absolutely. Right, okay, so we're down to the other questions. So I have thought of it this week, and I think it's quite a hard one, I'm not going to lie. So,
Oh, lovely.
um, right, okay, so out of all your first, we we all use fast food restaurants on occasion and all that sort of thing, and there's a massive selection of burgers out there. Okay, from fast food restaurants. So if you could be a fast food burger, what would you be and why?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know where I'm getting
I
these
don't
from.
know what the reason is. I don't know the reason why, but I mean, burgers I like to have are like the old doner kebab burger.
Oh, I hadn't even thought
Yeah,
of that.
yeah.
Wow.
So doner kebab burger, you know, bit of cheese in it as well. But as to why, I don't know. Maybe it's a bit different. I suppose it's a bit different. It's not a sort of burger everyone sort of like you said yourself. It's not the
Yeah,
sort of burger everyone would think of initially. So it's very sort of different.
yeah,
I like to be
definitely.
different.
It's quite unique. You're quite yeah. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's quite a good one. I like that because I like it when people answer something I'd never thought of. Like, so that's good. Um, okay, that's that question out of the way. There we go. Well, mate, we're about a minute into qualifying, so I'm going to let you go. Best of luck for tonight. We'll see where he
Thanks,
gets to
mate.
in qualifying. Where are you expecting for qualifying? Is it just a case of trying to get into Q3 and then see what
Yeah,
happens?
yeah. It's always a case of just try and get into Q3. Yeah, there's like you said, see what happens, see where I end up.
Yeah, cool. All right, mate. Well, good luck, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I might be speaking to you at the end. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
good luck,
Sweet,
mate.
mate. Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining me. Cheers.
No worries. Bye bye.
Right, guys. So that was Dark Mark. That was fun. I like Dark Mark. What a interview that was. I think that was possibly the best one we've ever had. What an interview. This is where I now go onto the stream and I see a load of messages saying we can't hear him. Um, First of all, before I go any further, Robbo, evening to you, mate, and thank you ever so much for the sub. And Whale as well. Thank you ever so much for the gifted sub to Operator. That's very kind of you. Um, Good evening, Operator, and James. You know me so well. Clem, you legend. Thank you very much to all of you for joining, and I hope you're looking forward to what I think is going to be a sensational Portimao Grand Prix. I've done quite a few, both races and comms around here recently, and they've all been really, really good races. So either that's going to continue, and we're going to have another one tonight, or PRF1's going to completely mess it all up and really lower my view of the track. But no, I don't think that's going to happen, not with the group of drivers we've got here. So, anyway, first out on track, Fatal Defiance, and he's on the hot lap. So, you know, look at the elevation changes around this track. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic, isn't it? I say fantastic, but it's the elevation changes that make the track so difficult to drive. So, if it was all a flat track, I don't think it would be that challenging a circuit, but because of the elevation changes, it's that which really sort of hits your you know, your ability to get on the power. What am I thinking of? Traction. So look how steep that was. Fatal Defiance across the line gets us started with a 21.2. Oh, who was that? That's a Haas on their way. That's an outlap. Of course, it's an outlap. Right, Dark Lord's on a hot lap, so let's stick with him. So we'll do the hilly hot lap at some point. But yeah, if you guys have watched PRF1 in recent weeks, I'm really not kidding when I say about how close qualifying's been. It's every single session. It's a really tight battle to get through. So hopefully that'll continue tonight and give us another one, another great battle. So here comes Dark Lord. Well, I had the pleasure of speaking to for the first time the other week, a couple of weeks ago. What a pleasant young man he is. 119.2, Goomba 120.5, Axel 131.0, so clearly not a clear lap there from Axel. Sorry, when I said that about Dark Lord, what a pleasant young man he is, that probably sounded a bit like I was taking a mate, but I promise I wasn't. Davis heads to the line. Goes fastest, 118.7. I'm expecting a pole time tonight in the 17s, probably mid 17s I would imagine. Fatal getting back to the pits there, And obviously the Haas will be Kamarov then. So 18-0 from Kamarov. So that suggests, I may be slightly wrong, we may be going to the low 17s for pole position. But I'm sure it will be in the 17s in a way. So Misfit, I think it's on a second lap here. Hey Dragoon, how are you? I hope you're well. Greza, I'm here too. Hello, sir. Hello, Greza. Tuesdays in the same race. Good evening, Shaz. Are you at home, Greza? Did you want to join again this week? So, Misfit across the line, 120.1 from Misfit. I think, is it Misfits? I'm going to call him Misfit because that's what the closest it looked to me. Is it their first race? The Red Bull just stops. Got to be careful doing that, Shrek, because it could come up with the old blocking the pit lane thing. It comes to an absolute dead stop. Here's the man that we spoke to. Oh, nice, Dragoon. I'll get some morphine, mate. That stuff's wicked. I see my dad on morphine. He wouldn't stop laughing continuously. Right, Dark Mark across the line, 118.7. That was somebody else. White Lion, I think that was across the line to 118.6. Nobody anywhere near Kamarov at the moment. But a long way to go, of course. And, of course, Q1 completely about the guys that are sort of further down trying to get through to Q2. I'm on in the background at the moment. What do you mean I'm on in the background? I should be the absolute, like, centerpiece of your entertainment, not on in the background. Unbelievable. Could have had a good battle Tuesday until I got giddy on the throttle. Giddy on the throttle, Shaz. Dear, dear. Oh dear, Dragoon. Poor Greza, you don't have to get it. Left, right and centre. 18-3 from Spriggs. Shrek, where is he? He's just coming... Just started set to 2. Tight left-hander. Who's out there today? Blonde. I don't think that's a racer we've seen in PRF1 yet. If I say that, Greza, and I've got it wrong, just let me know. But I think Blonde's a debutant tonight. Anything with Misfit? I'm not sure about Misfit because I've got a feeling he's just changed his gamer tag, but I could be wrong. No, wait, Blonde is about to come around and onto a hot lap, so I think why not do a hilly hot lap with the debutant. Here he comes for the line then. DRS will open just before the line. And down to very fast turn 1, 5th or 6th gear for turn 1 usually. Follow it round, keep it close to the inside. It's path of least resistance. The heavy braking right-hander. See Blonde taking it in third. You'd be second, third or fourth for that corner. And then be careful on the power through the turn 4. Open up the DRS down to 5. It's very late turning to hit the apex. Again, careful on the power on the exit. It's pretty much careful on the power on all the exits around here. And now this double right-hander. More of a lift in the first part rather than an actual brake. Down into the probably the most difficult corner on the circuit. Opens up on a very steep uphill. Through the flat-out left-hander into this very strange right-hander. You've got to really pick your turning point right. You want to catch the curb on the inside, but not too much of it. And then through the flat-out left-hander into another heavy braking, this time on the left-hand side. Now we head into what is essentially the final corner. You'd pick it up out the power here, and if it's dry conditions, which we are at the moment, then it's flat out through the actual final corner. Obviously, in the wet, you've got to be a bit careful with that, and you're never off the power in the wet through there, but you've got to be a bit careful. 18.9 from Blonde to get underway. Very nice lap from the debutant. and completes a hilly half in one go, which many a driver before has never managed to do, so fair play. I think it's probably time then that Misfit comes round. No improvement there. It's actually on a set of mediums at the moment. Maybe looking at doing more of a little bit of a race practice there, I think. What about Axel? Because he's not got a proper time on the board yet, nor is Dre. Good find. If they don't get one done, then they could find themselves under a bit of pressure later on in the session. Blonde debutant, but experienced. Misfits also experienced for admin. Yes, yeah. I've got a feeling. Are you sure Misfits are debutant? I've got a feeling he has raced before, but I think his gamer tag may have been a little bit different back then. Or I might just be making that up. I'm not sure. Or who knows? I'm in so many leagues, I might just know him from somewhere else. I don't. it's difficult. So, Axel, who's our only PC player this evening. In fact, we've only got 2 crossplay players. Axel on the PC, Shrek on the PlayStation. Who's up in P3 at the moment. Not too shocking to see the 2 Red Bulls 3 and 4. Not just because they're high up, but next to each other. They seem to be very, very close on pace, the 2 of them. And very, very quick, both of them. So, I'm shocked to see that. Spreader's finally on an outlet. That's what, yeah, of course it is, Grezza, you're absolutely right. Of course it is. Yeah, he's FGR, you're right. Yeah, thanks Big D, thanks Grezza, yeah. That's why I recognise the name. So, Axel into P10 then on a 19.0. Let's go to Spreader. Let's get time on the board. Dragoon as well, who's in the pits. Is he going to come out? I think he's on his way out, actually. Well, there is a McLaren on the way out. I assume it's him. Blonde in 9th at the moment. No real need to go out. Yeah, there we go. So Dragoon is out onto an outlet. And the Spreader then. So the different right-hander end of sets of 2, 52.7. Full of heavy braking, but it's got plenty of fast corners in here as well, which is part of the reason Portimao is quite difficult to set up for. There's pros and cons to whichever way you set up around here, really. I know it's quite favourable to use as lower downforce as you can these days to aid in overtaking, but it's definitely a track that favours a sort of mid-range downforce setup in terms of outright pace. But Spreader into P2 and away on an 18.2. Just ahead of Spriggs. Let's go down to Dre, who's just started the lap. So, Dre round out of that left-hander then, and that is the corner, isn't it? And that's one or 2 corners where we're likely to see the most likely to see spins. I think that one and the right-hander. And some stops coming out the pit lane again there. Again, just need to be a bit careful doing that. You could get a... If you actually full stop, you potentially could get a block in the pit lane disqualification. You don't want that. But yeah, I do suggest to any drivers listening, make sure you look at the track map before actually leaving the pits. You can judge it so that you come out with no one going past. I know we all get it wrong sometimes, but... Right, McLaren of Dragoon on his first lap, leaving it late to get one on the board. Looking very tidy indeed. And, Portimao, of course, being a recent addition to the game. I think we've had it 3 years now, haven't we? I think it was in 2020 for the first time, and then we had it 21, and then this year, of course, it was a DLC inclusion. But with it being one of the new tracks to the game, it's as Dragoon jumps up into 5th. That's a great lap from Dragoon. 18.5, puts into P5 and absolutely safe. Spriggs retires in the pits, first to do so. Yeah, it does mean that this track is one of the tracks that was mapped out with a laser. So it's the ones that are laser marked are a lot closer to being as realistic as possible than the ones that aren't. And the ones that have been are either the brand new tracks or the ones that have had changes to them. Like Spain, for example, was lasered for this season, this year's game. Because it had a change. Abu Dhabi was another one. There's quite a few of them done now. Jeddah was a brand new track, so that was done already. But yeah, so it's quite cool. Right, so we really will be concentrating now on the guys that are maybe a bit further down. So this is Misfit. Obviously, remember, the top 15 will progress to Q2. Very nice through the first portion of the track. Out of there and head down to the end of Sector 1. And only gained 8 thousandths, which would suggest he'd already been pretty good through there before. So obviously the time on the lap must be through Sectors 2 and 3. He comes at that difficult right-hander. Got on the power reasonably well there, I thought. Pretty good. And into this, a little bit wide. It's on entry, but not too bad. Turned in well. Got on the power okay. I missed the Sector 2 time. It's green on the map, so we must be improving. Ooh, track yellow in a moment. Lots of yellow flags, I'm not sure what they're all for, but there's one following a driver around, which usually means they've run out of fuel. Here he comes then, Misfit. Can he make it into top 15? 19.1 yet, goes P13. So that might start Lord into trouble. Night lap at the moment. Dre out on track, having invalidated this lap. Oh, what's he doing? He's taking the wrong part of the track. He's not... What's he doing? Oh, he's out of time. Sorry, I hadn't realised that the time had run out. Apologies. So, Dre... Well, Greza... what did I tell you about... What did I say about Dre last week? 1 week he's at the top somewhere, the next week he's out in Q1, and it's... you never know which Dre's going to turn up, but clearly he's not managed to get a proper time on the board for him, and he does leave us in Q1. We know. Oh, Gumba's just invalidated, coming out the penultimate corner. His attempt ruined, and that means we do know who's leaving us in Q1, and there is a couple of surprises here. So we lose Gumba, Operator. Dre, it's certainly a surprise. Aitel's always very close whenever he gets sure Wars just out, so out on this occasion. Dark Lord's quite a surprise to lose in Q1, to be honest. But Scott, very close as well. See what I mean by how close it is. And the next session will be even closer again. If you look, Robbo 18.8, Blonde 18.9, 19.0 for Axel. 19-1, it's just like a tenth between them all. And then, yeah, so top 13 are covered by the 1 second. But as you know, you don't always get the driver's best laps in Q1, so a lot more to come yet, I'm sure. I was just waiting for Misfit to be fully pushed into the garage. I think that's about to happen. There we go. So there we go. Cami fastest in Q1. Spreader second. Our two championship rivals, but only Q1. The big part of Q1, of course, is further down. So we lose Dark Lord. Fates of Defiance. Dre, who was out there on the mediums, may regret doing that now. Could have been on a set of softs and seen himself through, you would feel. Operator and Goomba, who's brother Darkmark. Real life brother, by the way. The actual brothers in real life. Made quite clear he's very pleased to be beating his brother. That's not very nice. I don't think. I think, you know, part of me wants to support Goomba now, I'm not going to lie. Sorry, Darkmark, but, you know, it's like you smacked him across the face with a glove. Not very nice. So I hate this track. A lot of people do, mate. A lot of people do. I used to, but I don't know. I just sort of, I got better at it, and now because I got better at it, I kind of like it a bit more. Which I guess is the way we tend to work. But yeah, I've had a few wins in leagues around here, so I've not had that many league wins in my short time playing, but 3 of the ones I have had have come here at Portimao. So no, oh hang on, no, it's 2 league wins, isn't it, and a pre-season win actually. It's yeah, so 3 league wins. I'll just keep it a 3 league wins. I didn't have to mention the pre-season. What did I do that for? Operator likes it on inters. Okay. And Fatal says he prefers it in the wet as well. What's that all about? Starting in the back, not the worst thing in the world, mate. Turn 1's a nightmare here. It's an absolute... Well, turn 1, 2 and 3. Well, let's just say the whole of the first sector, actually, is an absolute minefield. Guarantee, if we got a full grid, you could guarantee that one driver will go too hot in turn 1. It's just whether they actually hit anybody or not, or just go off track. Hopefully they just go off track. You could guarantee it to happen. It's just, yeah. Kind of just go into turn 1, close your eyes, and hope nobody hits you. Obviously, starting from the back, you can... It's the other way around, isn't it? You can be absolutely safe normally, and just have a pick up any positions off of people's mistakes. So Cami's out first anyway, so I've gone to Sergeant Kamarov. A man with 2 tennis courts in his back garden. This Slazenger racket. I can't even remember. These Slazenger make rackets. I can't remember if we decided that in the end. I don't know. Nice. Start to the lap. I did actually call Kamarov a man, didn't I? I meant kid. I meant kid. He's a kid with 2 tennis courts in his back garden, not man. He's an adolescent. That's the correct word. He's an adolescent. Greza, dang boy. No, I didn't say that, Greza. Sorry, I didn't say that, Greza. I don't mean that. Anyway, Cami on his way round. To give us our first lap of the session, and he's a little bit slower than Q1, although he may have used the same tyres, of course. So 18.2. Robbo on his way round. Dragoons cross the line to an 18.7. Robbo 18.9. Ferrari, can I get to the Ferrari in time? I would have invalidated. That's Big D. An Aston, I'm not sure. I can't. Oh, I nearly got to him. Axel 18.7. There's an Alfa Romeo. Oh, right, lap. Davis then. Let's go to Davis. I'm crossing the line, so Misfit 19-0 in the... I think, what's Misfit in? The Williams, I think? It's into the final corner. Let's get to on board. Better camera on it for qualifying. 18-8, Rob Davis just ahead of his teammate Robbo. Very good team together, those two. So, like Lion just started his lap. Big D, I think, is a bit further around. What about Malaysia? I can't remember Malaysia. I remember Vietnam. I rather like the Vietnam track. 18-8 from Big D. This is getting tight, you know. Gonna be interesting. Spreader early on. Who's this? This is White Lion. I can't remember Malaysia, but I'm sure if I actually saw a little bit of it, I'd go, oh yeah, of course I do. Well, I've definitely driven it because I played Formula 1 for so many years, I must have done. White Lion having a little jump about the screen at the moment on my TV. So across line 18-8 as well goes P5. Spreader then is just coming up to the end of sector 2. A little bit wide through the right-hander, but makes it out okay. It won't affect his lap too much. Nice to the right-hand side. Will he keep it to the right-hand side all to the line? Yep, he does. And it's an 18-8 from Spreader. So, wow. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. What's that? 5 drivers, I think, on 18-8 in a moment. Incredible. There will be improvements, guys. So the first runs of Q2, and I think most drivers do tend to use a scrub set from Q1 for their first laps in Q2. Scott sounded like he had a bit of a lock up there. Two drivers out on hot laps at the moment, and Scott that we're on with Blonde in the McLaren, who's just behind us somewhere. Probably see him just down the road there. Too much elevation going on this track, so he's down there somewhere, I promise you. Here he comes then, Scott through the final corner. Sends it to the line, and it's a 1:19.1. Puts her in P11. Blondo goes fastest on a 17.4. Wow, okay, that is just seriously up the ante. I wasn't expecting to see a time like that until Q3. For Q2 lap, he's absolutely nailed that. Yeah, so I commentated here on Monday for FGR, and I think their pole position time was a 17.5, so I was expecting just a bit quicker tonight, really, about 17.2, something like that, but Blonde's time there may suggest we could go even quicker. Oh, Shrek gets all out of shape. Kicked. Can you believe it? Yeah, let's get 2017 out again so you can play Malaysia. Thanks, Davis. It wouldn't be a night on comms with Art Kelly if we didn't get kicked at least once, so... It's operated. Let's try and get about 20 invites now. And whoever I don't accept from, I've got to accept Davis. He was first to send it, so... Sorry, operator. This is where the operator get offended now because I accepted Davis's invite, you see. How dare you? Right, we are back. Here we go. See, at least having because I got the Series S, so I've got the upstate console, it doesn't take me that long to load in, so it's not too bad. Not bragging like, you know, but... Dark Mark, by the way, went into P3 on an 18.5. I assume this is his in-lap. Yeah, is indeed. Blonde's back to the pits, and he feels he's done enough, so he's retired from the session. Spreads is out of track. He's P7 at the moment with his 18.8. This is sort of like, yeah, 1/8 of a second up immediately in Sector 1. So remember, as I said, a lot of the drivers would use scrub sets for the first runs. You'd be expecting improvements as long as there's no sort of major mistakes. There's no prizes here for being first or second or whatever. It's just simply be in the top 10. Don't matter if you're first or 10th. Get through. If you can't get through, be as high as you can. Spreader out the final corner again. As you can see, the Spreader keeps it all to the right hand side, and he's into the 17s with a 17.9, just behind Spriggs, who went on to a 17.8 ahead of him. Down the order, actually, I think Big E. Oh no, he's on an in lap, or he's invalidated. So to miss it then, he's a couple of attempts up. Just set to 1, so nice improvement so far. Really moves him up 2 places just with that 2 attempts. And set to 2. Gained a little bit more, but not too much. Good enough, right on target for a 1:18.8, which seems about this to be the favourite time of the session. Here he comes. He's a bit quicker, 18.5, puts him into P7 for the moment. That's going to be touch and go, whether that gets him through or not. Shrek on his way out in the penultimate corner and coming around to complete another lap. His first lap of the session, actually, Shrek. Heads to the line, and it's 1:18.2. Puts in P5. Makes sure we've just seen Spreader. Is he having another go? No, he's into the pits. Who else we got then? White Lion just starting the lap. Captain sat in P12 in the red corner. Well, our favourite time on a 1:18.8. Operator supporting Big D as he would. Big D's retired out the session. Spriggs has now as well. Dark Mark. I guess if we're in the pits, they may as well because they haven't got time to get back out again. So, a bit steady through the right-hander, but who could blame him? Nice through that right-hander, very early on the power. And into the left-hand. Oh, gets a little bit of understeer actually coming out. Oh no, actually I think that was a bit of lag on my screen. Comes through, heads into the final corner. I think we're going to see him through. It's a line and it's a 1:18.199. That puts him P5, all but he spins. Don't know how he's managed to spin on a straight, but my goodness me. Ooh, that could have been a better rejoin as well. White line. It's okay. Could have put the... I think it was Atkins that went... No, it wasn't Atkins. Not sure who it was that went past him, but that could have been better. So hopefully they weren't put off by that. I'm sure if they were, they'll be in an instant report for that. So yeah, stands at the moment though. White Lion, lucky boy there, not to DNF. Just 3/10 down. Let's move on. I think Scott has just crossed the line and gone into P10. He occupies the last spot. Certainly expect Axel with his pace to jump up, and Robbo really drops Misfit out and Dark Mark into the danger zone. Who was it that jumps up? I didn't see. Oh, Axel into P9 only though for Axel. Dragoon across the line goes P4, so now Axel's in trouble. Dark Mark's out. I don't think any of these three are improving. So, well, those two definitely not. And no, Scott's now almost a second down as well. So, I think that's it, guys. For Q2. Yeah, I think it is. So, looks like we're going to lose Dark Mark. Not quite getting to Q3 this evening, but we'll start P11, so it's not so bad. Misfit P12. Scott in 13th. Atkins 14th and Robbo in 15th, which is a bit of a shock, the AlphaTauri man. So close, yeah, and it's massively close. So yeah, I mean, from P4 to P8 is 7/10. Sorry, P4 to P15 is 7/10 of a second. So they're all within the 18, 1 minute 18s. Misfit will take P12. Fair play, man. Well done. Top 10 plan didn't go so well, Mark, but your P11, it's not so bad. And yeah, Misfit, it has become a very quick league. So there we go. There's a confirmation, guys. It's those 10. It's a blonde Spriggs. It's a blonde on his debut. Really, really impressing so far. That's a Q2 time. If he's got much more in the tank, he could potentially take pole tonight. Certainly in the mix. But blonde Spriggs, Master Spread Dragoon, Big D, White Line, Shrek, Kamarov, Davis and Axel through into the top 10 shootout. And Dark Mark, Misfit, Scott, Atkins and Robbo not through. And there's the instance. Just about got them on the board. Just in case they're needed. I don't think they will be. Right then, here we are. So pole position shootout. Who's your money on? Anybody want to have a guess at the top three? See what you think. If I had to choose, well, the evidence we've seen so far, I think I'm going to choose Blonde for pole. With Kamarov second. And I'm going to say Shrek third. But to be quite honest with you, you can pull 3 drivers out of that here and get the top 3 right. So it's have just about as much chance anyway. I think Cameron's out on track first again. He does love the spotlight, doesn't he? He does like to get out first. So Grez is going blonde spread Kamarov. Dark mark blonde Kamarov spread. Smoke tongue then. Dragoon's feeling wet. That's a slight problem. Probably should have got to the toilet a bit quicker, mate. So. Yeah, so yeah, what did I say? Blonde Kamarov Shrek, I've said. So I'm going. I've just spilt my coffee. Unbelievable. Unbelievable scenes. Is this... Who's this? That's Dragoon getting a toe off of Kamarov. Cheeky. So, we'll go with Cammy then. I think as if he's full of that McLaren. It's getting a bit too close at the moment. Yeah, I'm not surprised you get a bit of oversteer out the corner there, Dragoon. You're in the dirty air. You're close enough. Games blonde spread Dragoon or Cammy. Operator blonde Cammy spread. Big deal. Oh, you've gone for a top four. That's a bit greedy, isn't it? Here comes then Cammy to get the first one on the board. Does he break the 17s? I don't. Oh yeah, just about 17.8, 9.8 to get us underway. Dragoon and 18.6. We saw him get really oversteery out of that heavy braking left-hander. Who's next? Big D. Across the line to 18.4, puts in P2. Who's this? Spreader goes fastest, 17.6. There's a Red Bull, and it's White Line, 17.8. Now they're putting in the proper times. Look, Shrek over the line to an 18.4. Puts in P5 for the moment. He's just crossed the line. I think that was his out lap. We'll go to him in a minute and watch the rest of his lap. Davis on his way to the line, 18.7. Spriggs, 17.7. Nice lap, Spriggs. Very nice lap. Axel was invalidated. Bond is on his lap. He's finding a bit of traffic from people on in laps, but they seem to be getting out of the way at the moment. Am I from Bristol? You should know by now, don't worry. Yes, I'm definitely from Bristol, mate. From Bristol, but live in Devon now. So then, Bond looking good. And McLaren. I don't think the McLarens will be seeing any pole positions in real life this season, and some drastically changes. You could see one here. See now she's 17.4 again, so goes fastest. Slightly quicker than the Q2 as well, so nice lap from Blonde, and that's really going to give him a brilliant target for a final run as well, so really has gone well. Axel then has gone around for another lap then to get them on the board. Let's see where he can go. He's a dark horse as well, mind Axel. He's very much capable of being up there. He only got through in P10, but shown in previous races he's definitely got the pace to be up the top, so let's see if he can manage it here. It's an 80. Oh, it's a I don't know what it is. It's an 18.6. Had a load of lag as he was coming across the line. But yeah, 18.6 from Axel. So that puts him P9 at the moment, but he's got one on the board. Of course, the other thing in Q3, you're never quite sure who's using fresh tyres. I'd imagine these guys at the very top have 2 sets available to do 2 runs. Some of these guys a bit further down may have been using a scrub set for first runs, so there you have it. Oh, evening, Mark. Thanks for popping in, mate. While you're at work. Everyone's forgot about Spriggs. They have indeed. Reza, what a lap from him. See if we can go quicker again on his next run. And that Mark, you're off to Stag Do in Bristol end of June. Well, it's a great night out, mate. I can't knock it for that. It's a brilliant night out. It's we're a little bit, well, you know, big city and all that sort of thing. I absolutely loved growing up there. I perhaps would have liked to have lived there for a bit longer, but no, I'm quite happy being in quiet, sleepy Paynton in Devon now. It's, as I get older. Oh, this is an exciting watch, isn't it? Axel with no fuel in the car, just limping back to the pits. He had to do another lap to get a time on the board, so ran out of fuel. Go into low fuel mode and limp back to the pits, still with plenty of time. We're waiting. Who's gonna come out first? Could be a good 40-50 seconds before somebody moves, but not sure. Oh no, that's Axel coming in. So, yeah, no movement at the moment. I'd expect somebody out around about 3 minutes 40, 3 minutes 50. So in the next sort of 10 to 20 seconds, you should hear somebody leaving the pits. Oh, I've stayed there, Mark. I have stayed there, mate. And jurors as well. Yeah, beautiful. Well, it's a great hotel, but you don't really spend any time there. You just sleep there, really. Pay all that money, and all you do is go to sleep there with a massive hangover in the morning. But, you know. Somebody's turning their engine on. Who is it? I'm a little surprised that more people aren't coming out. You can, if you time it right, you can normally have your next run, and if you make a little bit of a mistake early on in the lap, you could turn your energy off and still get round in time to have a second go. It's to me like the Red Bull then of Shrek is the only one that might have that time on the board to be able to do that. Yeah, Cardiff's a great night out. And the only one I haven't done, mate, that I'd love to do is probably Newcastle now. I think I'd like to go out there, have a night out there, especially being a Newcastle fan. But saying that, I can't understand a word they say, so, you know, I just spend the whole night nodding because I can't understand what they're saying anyway, so... Oh, here we go. Operator quit, send me an invite. I got kicked again. Oh, Davis has done it. Operator, if you send me one now, and I'll use yours. Just to level things out. Let's be quick though. Oh. Yay, operator, thank you. That's perfectly timed, so I could just hold my Xbox button instead of going into the menu. There we are, let's even it out now. Nobody needs to be jealous because I've used both of yours. Right, back in. Hopefully in time to see the end of Oh, in fact, they're all still on outlaps yet. We haven't missed anything. Can't be. The Red Bull can't still be on an outlap. Which it was White Lion, wasn't it? That don't make any sense. Anyway, Cammy's not on an outlap. And Axel, but Axel looks to me like he's... Is that Axel? It is, yeah. He's off. Down at turns 1 and 2. So that's his final go. Ruined. So P9's the best he can do. And if Davis can improve. Coming up to towards the end of set to 2 now. And he's up. Couple of attempts. So used to seeing Cammy take pole, but unless he's got a massive improvement in him in this final sector. That was very close to an invalidation, but keeps it just about on the line. So right hand side, and it's 76, a P3 for Kamarov. Here comes Spriggs. He was up in set to 2. He improves as well. Goes P2. 17.5. Here's Davis. Improves by 6 tenths up to P7. Who was that? That was Spreader, who finishes P3. Spriggs. What a lap, Spriggs. Axel spins it across the line, but we knew he wasn't improving anyway. Here's Blonde. He improves again. Quarter of a second. That is pole position on a 17.1. That's an exceptional lap that absolutely deserves pole position. Both Red Bulls have invalidated their last attempts. Dragoon hasn't. And he's across the lines for 17.8. And that puts that McLaren into P6 and McLaren 1 and 6 on the grid. Great qualifying for McLaren. Not too shabby for Red Bull in P5 and P7, but Spriggs, well, Blonde, exceptional. Absolutely exceptional. Welcome to PRF1, Mr. Blonde. And Mr. Blonde. That was an accident. I didn't even mean to do that. It sounded like Mr. Bond. Did you get it? I wasn't even holding a white cat then. But Big D. I was 8 times up a spun. No. No way. 8 attempts up would have seen you in sort of around where spread is. So sort of P3, P4 area. Oh, Big D. At least you know you got the pace though, man. At least you know you got the pace. So you know it's a great chance of going forward in the race. But, yeah, massive congratulations to Mr. Bond. Mr. Blonde, even. Like that. It is, James. That's an exceptional lap in a qualifying session. That is exceptional. You guarantee his TT's in the 16s comfortably. So, yeah, yeah. So Blonde, Mr. Blonde takes pole. I can't stop saying it now. Mr. Blonde takes pole on a 17.169. Congratulations, especially on debut. What a lap. Spriggs P2. He'd be thinking he's joined a slow league. Go. Spriggs P2. On the 17.524, Spreader in P3, 17.651. Just behind by 400's Kamarov in P4. That's not often to say that. White Lion P5, Dragoon in 6, Shrek 7, Davis 8, Big D at 9, Axel in P10. Who's the host tonight? Greza? Who's hosting? Is it Spreader? Because if it is, he's going to be P1 by the first corner. See, Greza appreciates it, Mr. Blonde, thank you. I made myself laugh with that. I didn't even mean it. It was brilliant. I nearly belly laughed with that one. I'm not going to lie. It was close. Oh, dear. Oh, Davis is host tonight, is it? Is that because Cammy moaned? Did Cammy moan about Spreader having host duties? So, well, Davis is in P8. You saw his start last week. Where were we last week? Was it France? I can't remember. But yeah, if you saw his start last week, he may still be P1 by turn one actually, Greza, because he absolutely flew off the line last week, didn't he? Um, Unbelievable. Right, guys, as always, we're going to take a quick break. So, Illy needs his coffee, so I definitely got to go and get me coffee. Um, so, yeah, guys, go and grab yourselves a drink or whatever you need to do. But make sure it's around about 5 minutes, so we'll be back for the race. So I'll speak to you in a moment. See you then. Right, guys, I'm back with you. Just have a quick gander on the Discord. Right, so just confirm. I know we mentioned that Cammy and Spreader were sort of and distance a little bit in drivers, but just to confirm that the current gap between the two is 31 points, with Kamarov leading, Spreader second. Spreader's obviously gotten has the advantage here at Portimao after qualifying. You also know how good a starter he is, and so from P3, it wouldn't be a massive shock to see him leading this race by the end of turn one. But we'll see. Can't do it perfectly every time. So, but Davis in P8 is definitely going to be someone to watch with the host advantage. So probably go on board with him for the starts, just so you can see that. But yeah, so Cameron's Haas and Spreader is Alpine. And the gap between the constructors at the top is 17 points. But it's Alpine which are leading the constructors. So interestingly enough, the constructors the opposite way around to the drivers. So that's pretty cool. The countdown has begun. Is it going to rain? Says James. Well, unfortunately, it don't tell me, James. I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. Looking at the sky in a picture there, there is a few clouds. Portimao does like a little bit of rain, doesn't it? But I don't know. We're definitely starting dry though, by the looks of it. Onto the formation lap, but it is a little. I don't know. Where there's sky, it looks blue, and the clouds are there are quite fluffy, but there are some dark clouds as well. So I don't know, James. It could. It's quite interesting. It could. So let's have a look then at the tyres. So Blonde, interestingly, starting on the hards, which will quite honestly give Spread even more chance of being P1 by the turn 1. Let's see. Obviously, I don't know how good a starter Blonde is, if he's just as good as Spread as or not. But it'd be more difficult for him on the hards. But anyway, Blonde is on hards, and then we've got to go down all the way down to start marking P11, Misfit and P12 who are also on hards. Robbo in P15 of Fatal Defiance is 17, also on the hards. Scott and Atkins have been disqualified from the formation lap, but no real hard shit. They'll be on the grid the same as everybody else. Everybody else on the mediums, by the way. No real shock not to see any softs around here. You can use softs around here. In all fairness, you can. You can do soft to hard around here. It's definitely a strategy choice. But I'm not really that surprised not to see anybody on hards. See that yeah, Sun was it Cons on Sunday, wasn't it? The first race of HRF1's new season was Portimao, and yeah, first and second went softs. The two Aston Martins. It was won by two Aston Martins, and sorry, Aston Martin were. You know, what league is it I'm thinking of? Was it no, it's WAOF1, wasn't it? That's right, on Tuesday. Sorry, that's it. It was a 1-2 for Aston Martin, and they both went softs off the start. From first and fourth, wasn't it? I think, and they were 1 and 2 by the end of turn 1. Built a 5-second gap, come into hards, and it worked. They got to the end and won the race very nicely. Right, let's go to Davis on board because he's got the host advantage, and we do like to see just how nice it is. That's it, James. Yeah, thank you. Not going to see that one tonight. So here we go. Lights coming on. They are on. Had to go for Dave. Ooh. Actually, was that... Who was it? Red Bull actually reacted almost the same time, so maybe they've done something about the host advantage. As we see them battling then, Spreader, we know is going to get off to a great start, and he's battling Spriggs, who's going to come out and stop. Spriggs on the outside, may get better traction on the outside, down to the tight left-hander. Is he... Seems to lose a bit of time there. Master Spread seemed a little bit later on the brakes. Looks like, yeah, Spriggs is going to have to fall in behind Spreader here for the double right-hander. So, there we have it. So, Spread leads from Spriggs. Davis all the way up to P3, so maybe the host advantage isn't gone. But I swear Red Bull reacted at the same time as him and hasn't got a penalty. Big D, P4. Great start from him. Blonde in the end dropped to 5th, but he's taken that decision of starting the hards. I guess it was always going to be a risk off the start. But it's the strategy that could pay off in the end. We'll have to see. It's definitely a favourite strategy, isn't it? In most tracks nowadays is the hard to medium. As Atkins and Dark Marker battling around the final corner, and it looks like Atkins has come off better there. Yes, Dark Mark down a few places as well, having started on the hard tyres. Fatal's made a couple up though. Misfit was the other one, he's up one. So, not entirely sure what happened, but White Lion has dropped down to the back. B19, I think Dre's just had a little spin at turn 1. Indeed, it's back going again. I can't see any obvious signs of damage on the car, so it should be okay. Definitely a track where there's every possibility we could have a safety car here. So easy to spin here, and if you spin and hit a wall, there are some runoff areas, so you can get away with a spin here. It's not guaranteed you'll hit a wall, but if you do, it will probably bring out a safety car. So Spriggs absolutely staying with Spreader. Davis 5 places. Big D up 5 places. Dark Lord up 6 places. They're our best 3 starters tonight. Well, looks like Spriggs is absolutely going to stay with Spreader here as Kamarov makes a move on Blonde. And it looks like Shrek's having a look as well. Mr. Blonde does the inside. And holds on to the position on that occasion. Shrek on the outside. Blonde goes back across the track. Just about within reason. In order to take the best line he could. And holds on to P6 for the moment. And his goal now absolutely will be to try and stay on the back of Sergeant Kamarov. Things carry on as they are right now. Blonde later on in this race would not be in a bad position if he could stay on the back of that pass. That's the thing. He needs to DRS, otherwise he could become a bit of a sitting duck. Cars behind him. Our top 2 at the moment, building a gap. So Spriggs chases after Spreader. DRS is active. He's going to get a run here. Oh, he's got him, I think. He's going to have him easy. So the move done under DRS. Now, what has Spriggs got in terms of maybe being able to get away from Spreader? Can he make any inroads into that? So we've got a yellow flag, and it's Shrek, who's had a spin down at turns 1 and 2. His operator up to P17. And Shrek having a bit of difficulty getting back on the track, actually. But that is spelling a horrible start to this race for the Red Bulls. Now in P18 and P20. I don't know if Shrek was just patiently waiting for all the cars to go past then, or whether he was genuinely having trouble getting the car back on the track or not. I'm not sure. But Spriggs is showing little signs that he may be able to gap Spreader here. There's 7 to 8 tenth gap at the moment. And Spriggs did seem to have some pretty damn good straight line speed. He sets fastest lap of the race. Spriggs is gaining on the straight, so should be alright to keep within that 1 second, you'd think. This battle then. It's Davis. Who was that? It's the point of order, isn't it? It's difficult to say. Somebody's got to host the lobby, and obviously on this occasion it's boosted Davis right up into 3rd, and guys right behind, you know, I don't know. It's a difficult call because guys behind might be saying, hang on, he's holding us up now, and you know the front 2 are disappearing because of this. But you know, what do you do? There's not a lot you can do about it. As I say, somebody's got to host a lobby. It's not You know, it's nobody's fault, apart from Codemasters, I guess, that there's some sort of issue with this, but say that the other host normally would be Spreader, so, you know, if Davis doesn't host it, then Spreader would host it, and that wouldn't really be fair on Kamarov when it comes to the titles, so it's the fairest way we could do it, isn't it? So... anyway, Davis down to 5th now, Big D through into 3rd, Sergeant Kamarov P4, and is on the back of Big D. And Blonde, whose hard sides are probably starting to come back to him a little bit now. Can take a few laps, can't they, the hard tires, just to, I don't know, just to feel normal, if you like. So... yeah, they did, Mark. They absolutely did. So... looking down now, just trying to find this... battle as Dre gets ahead of... ooh, let's just quickly get to them if I can, quick enough. 'Cause they are... oh, hang on, what's happened here? White Lion's not with us. I didn't see him. I didn't see his name come up as leaving. He's on the main menu. Let's invite him to the game. I didn't see his name come up as leaving, but he must have done. Hopefully he'll get back in. Oh, Misfit picks up a penalty. Just a second to do so. Operator's got one. That's it. Long is getting close to Davis here. He's gone for the late lunge. Ooh. Well, he's let Davis back through, I think. I don't know if he's let Davis back through or whether Davis has just done a switchback on him, but I'd like to think he let him back through there because I think that was a bit of a lunge, to be fair. He didn't really make the corner. So, or he made the corner, but what I mean is he didn't leave. So if Davis if they'd been alongside, he would have hit Davis, if you see what I mean, if he'd have been there. So it's, I know what I'm trying to say, I just can't seem to get it out in the right words. But yeah, so I've got a feeling Blonde had actually let him through there, but let's see, it might have been a switchback though. But it's going to be another opportunity now with DRS down to turn 1. Looks to me like it's not really... well, starting the game now is too late, so... I tell you, the hard tires around Portimao are absolutely lovely. They do take, say, as I said earlier, they do take quite a few laps to actually bed in, but once they do, they feel absolutely awesome. Sorry, just a nip down to Dartmark and Atkins, who've just changed position a couple of times. Dartmark P12, Atkins, I think down to 13th. I think that's Dartmark getting past there. So, sorry, I've got to go back up, don't want to miss this. This is easily our best opportunity for an overtake. So, and this is the sort of distance that Blonde needs to keep this going on to the home straight. The car ahead always seems to get away a little bit out of this corner, but oh, Davis didn't though. Surely this time, I would think. Surely this time. Not using any energy. Why isn't he using energy? He thought he could do it without it, but that's essentially cost him. Like, oh, he hit the sausage curb part there. And that could easily have lost him, the car. So, did well to keep it, to be fair. It goes again. And now we've got a bit of a run. So it's better that time, to be fair. That was better that time. I think Davis actively looked for the switchback, and by doing that nearly hit the back of Blonde's car, but didn't. And on we go. Blonde does get through then, and he's now back into P5. Not ideal for him, because Kamarov is now 2.5 seconds up the road from him. So we've got a couple battles. There is a battle further down I'd like to drop down to. If we could just see how close spread is going on to the pit straight here. I don't think he's close enough. Oh, and can you believe it? That yellow flag's down where I was going to go to. So I was going to go to Scott, Misfit and Scott, who were really close. Group of cars. But unfortunately that yellow flag was Misfit, who's dropped from 10th to 13th. And there's another yellow flag going on. It's Big D. Who's round? Oh, and I think Kamarov is as well. It's both of them. Presumably contact then. Or maybe Big D spun and Kamarov's got caught up with it. Because it didn't look like Kamarov, when they got onto the straight, was close enough. So we've caught up to Big D. Big D resumes in P8 in the end, and Kamarov in P11. Can't see any obvious signs of damage to either car. So I don't think that's going to force a pit stop out of either of them, but yeah. Talking of pit stops, we're getting pretty close. The next 3 or 4 laps, I'd imagine, we should be seeing people pitting off of the mediums to the hards. Oh, and there's a spin from Scott. No contact. Well, there was a bit of contact after he spun, but no contact before. It has. Well, it was Dark Mark that touched him after he'd spun. Oh, I don't know. I think he's lost the left end plate in though, Dark Mark, and he is into the pits. Yeah, and he started on the hard, so yeah, this is definitely for damage. He's lost the left end plate. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Car in front of him, Scott just spinning in front of him. What a shame. Dark Mark, because he was starting to get through the field a little bit. Being on the hards, he was looking forward to what would have been a fun, interesting stint later on in the race, but that is gonna, I'm absolutely honest with you, if there's no safety cars, that is gonna almost kill his race. Because he will almost certainly have to stop again, I'd imagine. Maybe able to force the set of mediums to the end from here, but it's gonna, let's be honest, they will be dead by the end of it if he does. So he's gonna have no real speed in them later in the Grand Prix. So that's effectively killed Mark's Grand Prix, unless there was to be a safety car. So right, let's just go to Shrek, who is trying to get his way back through the field and catch something up here for. Oh yeah, White Lion's back with us, by the way. That's good to see. Yeah, Red Bull obviously trying to get themselves back up the order a bit. Dragoon then, I believe, is our first actual scheduled pitter. And field's still close enough together that it is going to drop him a lot of places. So there you go. He's just coming up the pit end exit, and these two go through. These three go through even. So yeah, Dragoon exits in P17. But he does exit with a 4-second gap ahead of him to Dre, so he's got a nice amount of road to drive into. And we've got White Lion is retired in the pits. So definitely won't be a safety car, guys. That's an in the pits retirement from White Lion. I'm not sure the reason for it. He joined back in the lobby, which was great, but maybe he's just having too many issues with connection or something and has decided it would be better for him to retire it out instead. I don't know. But there we go. Good to see. He hasn't brought his car back out on the track for once, though. That's good. here then, as he looks to get moving forward again after a spin. Misfit. It's back onto Atkins. Yes, we've got a set to 1 yellow. Who is that? That is Axel, I think. Drops to P6. But he is back going just ahead of Big D. As Kamarov is into the pits. Looks like he's going to exit behind Dragoon. A little way as well, actually. As you can see here from Misfit, just having a good job getting past Atkins at the moment. Of course, Misfit was another hard starter, wasn't he? So he's looking forward really to what's going to be a exciting second half of this race for him. Just to come back in. And Davis is into the pits from P4. So it's going to be lap after lap. We're going to be seeing people pit. Understandably, I think we'll see the guys at the very front. So Spriggs and Spreader will probably look to extend those stints slightly. This hits the inside. Ooh, back to Adam it. So, very close between the two there, but again, Misfit just can't get past. Dre and Operator in, by the way, for their stops. And they will exit in P18 and P19 respectively. These two battling just allowing Scott to get back onto the back of them. Scott, of course, was the one that spun. And Dark Mark clipped him as he spun. And lost his end plate. In is Spriggs from the lead. Spreader has come directly in behind him as well. Dark Lord as well. So Blonde will take the lead of this race. In comes Atkins. It's going to release Misfit. So, with a DRS as well, so he won't mind that Misfit at all. As he goes into P6, Spriggs and Spreader have gotten out ahead actually of Misfit, so they have come out in P4 and 5. That's some feeling when you do that, you know. You make your pit stop and you're still as high as 4th or 5th. Yeah, you ought to be pretty happy. So now it's about Blonde, isn't it? How quick can he still be on those hards? Because I suspect he's still pretty quick on those hards. And then what sort of gap? So the gap was just under 7 seconds between Spreader and Blonde. So we'll see if that gap is bigger or lower after he makes his pit stop. But that's not likely to be for another 4 or 5 laps, I'd imagine. So see how he goes. Some really close battles. We're actually struggling a little. Oh, Misfits round. Oh, that's a shame for him. That's allowed Scott through. It's not too bad though. He's not lost much time there, to be fair. He's still about 1.6, 1.7 behind Scott. So Scott was only a second behind him. So he's not lost too much. Into the pits then. Axel, Big D, and Scott. So maybe Scott, when that spin happened, maybe fault. It's the driver I'm actually battling with, so I'm going to take my stop now immediately as he's just spun. May well work out for him. But Axel and Big D then exit in P9 and P10. Davis here fades to the front, still out on his starting tyres and is currently running around in P6. There's Davis having a look to the inside. Just be a bit careful. You've got to bear in mind the driver ahead is on very much worn tyres now compared to you, so you just got to be a bit careful. It's going to be braking a little bit earlier than you. So Big D picks himself up at 3 seconds. Could harm him a little bit towards the end of the race. Certainly will give Axel a bit of a sort of come on if he needed it. His main rival in this race currently has now picked up a penalty. What he can do sometimes, actually, when the person you're closest to picks up a penalty, you suddenly start saying to yourself, "Don't, whatever you do now, don't pick up a penalty," and you've got him, so you start thinking about not picking up a penalty. The irony being then is that you then do pick up a penalty because you can't stop thinking about picking up a penalty. So that's somebody's law. I can't remember what it's called, but it's somebody's law. It's the same idea as if you know, somebody's, I don't know if I've ever heard of this, but so say you're teaching like a kid or something to ride a bike. Don't ever say to them, like if they're going off on their own for the first time, don't say to them, "Don't run into that lamppost," because that is all they'll be able to go towards is the lamppost. They won't be able to avoid it. So yeah, it's somebody's law, and I can't remember what it's called. Or even now, I'm just talking absolute crap now. Probably talking crap. Oh dear, I'm having fun this evening. Nice little battle going on here now. So obviously Davis has gotten past, and now Dragoon is looking to do the same. It is important after you've pitted that you know, if you've got a driver here like Faithful that's also started way down the order. He's having a lovely race, doing a great first stint on his hards, but it's about to be a bit slower than those around him that have pitted now, so it is important you get past these drivers pretty quickly, but you've got to do it safely. That's more important. So Dragoon looks like he's doing just that as he makes his way past into P7. So this Aston Martin currently running P8 and P9. I don't think Fatal will be too worried about battling the next driver that comes up onto the back of him, as that's his teammate. He'd love to let his teammate through and stick himself between his teammate and the Ferrari. That would be perfect for Aston Martin, but not easy to do that. And he is coming up to his pit stop, so I would say actually any time between now and lap 22 is pretty much where you're going to see hard tyres pitting. Lap 22 might be a little bit too late actually, lap 21. So yeah, we're definitely in hard pit stop territory now. Let's go to the mediums. So, right, any other battles apart from people catching Fatal at the moment? We've got Scott and Atkins a bit further down at the moment. They'll obviously gain some places when others pit, but just to mention, by the way, Shrek is still out on the mediums that he started this race on. That's some medium stint, that is. Might be giving Dark Mark a little bit of hope of, you know, to get to the end. There's, well, Fatal Defiance opts to pit from in front of his teammates, so it's an understandable one. And a chance here. I don't think we're quite going to get there, are we? So yeah, let's just nip back to Big D a minute, because he's really on the back of Axel now, putting him under some pressure. And although Big D's got a 3 seconds, I don't think it's a bit early in a race where Axel would sort of think, "Oh, I don't really care about holding him back now because I can stick within 3 seconds." It's a bit too far to go still. Who, Greta? Who? Shrek finally in 19 laps on the medium tyre. He started the race on. That's some stint. It shows what you can do, doesn't it? On a set of mediums. Let's see, that's his attempt to recover. He's also decided to go long and give himself a slightly fresher tyre for the second stint, which is a set of hards, so he has gone the hards. And he's got a few laps advantage of those around him in terms of wear, so it might help him, aid him in getting back through the field a little bit. So what's happened now is we've got, obviously these two were battling. Big D would have had a great opportunity to get past, but what's happened is they caught Dragoon. They're set to yellow. That looks like a Red Bull. Is it Shrek? Well, it's got to be Shrek because White Lion is out of the race. So after that, for all that work that he did, a long stint on mediums to get himself up the order a bit and back into the points, he's had a spin on his outlap on hard tyres. It's just dropped him back down a bit. Still time to try and get some of that back, Shrek, but it'll be difficult now. Especially as the driver directly ahead of him is out on fresh mediums as well. That's not going to help. Set to 1 yellow, and that is Axel. Right, that's enabled Dark Mark back into the top 10. Oh, it's a shame though that Aston Martin, that is. Now then, who's that? Now then. Who used to say that? That was a Canadian. Now then. Blonde's extending the gap, so maybe on 15 lap older hard tyres, but he is extending the gap to Spriggs, so this man could well be becoming the favourite to win this race as it stands, and he'd be very difficult to not give driver the day to as long as he stays penalty free. He's not the only one. There's other potentials there as well. Spriggs has been awesome. But, as I say, he is losing time to Blonde. That's the only problem for him now. He's they obviously had a lovely gap, but the gap is now 20 seconds. We're getting to the point where Blonde would be coming out pretty much on top of them. But I reckon about another second, and he'd basically be coming out on top of Spreader out of the pits. So I'm not sure exactly how long a stop is here, but I think it's about 23 seconds. So Big D, of course, with Axel spinning, is up into P7, and he's now after Dragoon. Yeah, that's right. Hey, Ollie. Thanks for joining, mate. And yeah, he absolutely is, mate. He's just edging away, and at the end of the day, he's just going to keep doing that. If while his tyres are still enabling him with his pace to just edge out a little bit, there's no reason for him to pit, because he could keep going on those tyres and go to softs at the end. And I think if he does that, it's an absolute slam dunk win. I just don't have to switch to mediums. Say on Tuesday, it was a 1-2 for Aston Martin here on Tuesday, and they both went with softs first, moving to hard tyres, and it worked an absolute treat. So Blonde is just potentially doing the opposite to that. And just the last half a lap, just little signs that Spriggs is just beginning to get on level terms at least. As Big D makes the move then, it's in a double right-hander, it's never easy there, but he has made that move, and that's nicely done from Big D. Dragoon left plenty of space as well. Some nice racing from the pair of them, and up into P6 for the Ferrari. Of course, he does have a penalty, so as it stands right now, Dragoon would get that back. And that Haas behind is Kamarov on his recovery through the field. Well, did he, Shaz? I looked away. Did he just set fastest lap on the hard tyres? You sure you read that right? Did that just happen? There's Kamarov at the inside of Dragoon. And holding it round the outside. He's got DR. Well, they both got DRS off a Big D. Looks like Cameron's got that move done and is up into P7. As I say, on his recovery through the field. Now, into the pits then is Blonde. And surely it's going to be a switch to soft tyres. If you had the fastest lap on 23 lap hards at the time, then he's going to definitely get fastest lap on a set of fresh softs. But where does he come out? Now, Spriggs is on his way down. I think he's going to come out just behind them, you know. Well, he's definitely just behind Spriggs. Is he going to get out ahead of Spreader? Really tight, but no, I think Spreader's going to nip in front. So, with those softs, this is going to be... Well, for Spriggs, a lot of it's going to depend on just how much Spreader can hold Blonde up, but it'd be a monumental effort if he can. Misfit is into the pits for... Well, that's his stop, yeah, so he's done the same thing. He's gone long, gone to softs, and he's going to enjoy the rest of this race, and I think he will come out in P11. Atkins is going to appear in the distance, there he is, but I think Misfit's going to be... Yeah, he's perfectly ahead, look, so... Misfit, another one having a really nice race today, I have to say, and he's going to enjoy... I don't think there's any better feeling in the game, is there, than coming in on really worn tyres and going to a set of brand new fresh softs. Is Fatal does a little spin, and looks like he's okay though, and he continue on his way. No real issue there, but Blonde is already right on the back of Spreader, and as I say, it's going to take some sort of monumental effort for Spreader to be able to hold him off at all. And he's not going to, look. It's going to be done way before the braking zone. And you feel that it's just going to be a matter of time. Spriggs is going to be like a rabbit in the headlights here. He will already know that it's almost a guaranteed thing. You hold out hope that somehow that gap is going to stay at 2 seconds when you're in a car ahead. But and then you look up about half a lap later and there's already 8 tenths down or something. But actually in Blonde's position, it can become very easy to push too hard when you're in this situation. You don't need to do that. The tyres will do the work for you. You've just got to get the car around. Don't go doing something silly. By pushing too hard and ending up in a spin or something, or picking up a penalty. Just let the tyres do the work. You can just guide the car around the track. And it's already in DRS range, so it's got DRS on the straight. Oh, he's not. I mean, he's definitely too far back on this occasion, but sets fastest lap on 18.5. There's plenty of drivers that would love to do an 18.5 in qualifying. That tells you how quick this lad is. Very impressive. In fact, scrap that. There's plenty of drivers that would love to do an 18.5 in time trial, let alone qualifying. So that is some laps. He goes around the outside and the extra grit. Makes Spriggs nose, really, as much as he would love to try and defend it. There's not a lot of point. Could just end up getting himself a penalty or something for a minute. Then the driver goes past, so this happens now, and then you think, well, if I could just hold on to the back of him, for the DRS. You never know. It's always the last couple of laps. I might get a chance back. But yeah, and then again, half a lap later, and they're out. They're over a second ahead again. It's a serious time advantage they got. So there you go. There's the 1 second has been breached before they reach the DRS activation. So I believe so. Yeah, no, the rear wing doesn't open on Spriggs' car. But what a drive from Spriggs today, by the way. Absolutely superb drive. There's a man having another one, considering the spin he had earlier on, Big D. Davis as well, another driver having a great one. They are out of the running for driver of the day, though, because they do have a penalty each. And got a spinner, I think. Oh no, I don't think that was a spinner, actually. I think that was... It might have been fatal spinning, I'm not sure. He might have been moving out the way of traffic. I'm not sure, really not sure. I think he did spin, actually, because everything's gone behind operator. So, oh no, Misfit, you haven't. You haven't, have you? You have. You have. You spun it. Had a penultimate corner as well. That's not an easy place to spin on fresh softs. That's quite an impressive spin. But it's a shame because he was having a really good race. What a shame for Misfit after all that. Let's go to Scott then. Scott and Atkins are still at it, look. It's been like this lap after lap after lap. As we got yellow. Ah, that's Misfit again. Specs haven't been so far off track. We're really getting to the closing stages now. Oh, don't you dare, I just kicked me. Unbelievable. Had to, didn't it? Absolutely had to. Oh, thank you, Aaron. I didn't even know you were in there. Why don't you say something? You could have joined me in comms. So yeah, get back in as quick as I can, guys. So, go. Right, it's back in. Thank you, Aaron, for the invite. Cheers, buddy. And, so don't really need tyres anymore. Position changes. The great race. Top three as they were at the start. But not quite as simple as saying that, is it? It's not been that straightforward. But somehow they have ended up back in the positions they were when they started this race. The Kamarov. So that's a change actually. Kamarov is up into P5 now. He's gotten ahead of Davis. So he looks to, well, minimise the damage basically. And at the moment, oh, Shrek's out. Shrek is out. Oh, that's in the pits. That's both Red Bulls. Oh dear, that's both Red Bulls retired in the pits, and Shrek retired from a point scoring position as well. He was P15. So, top 15 score in PRF1, so that was a point scoring position as his car fumbles back out onto track. Luckily no one down around there. So, yeah, well, I mean, my opinion is always the same on this. Why do that many laps of a race and then retire? You know, Unless he had some sort of damage, and then just got back in. Something might have happened. So, ultimately, though, now for Kamarov, he's done, since that spin that seen him drop down, I think it was about P12 of roughly. Obviously, once that happened, his job became minimising the damage really to Spreader for the championship, and well, he couldn't have done any more than what he's done. So he's P5, but he's within penalty range of the car ahead to take P4, meaning the damage would be absolutely minimised. So there you have it. So I think, team of the day, if we had such a thing, we'd have to go to McLaren. What a race they've had. As long as it keeps going, of course. It's oh, you know what, Ollie? Yeah, you're right. I forgotten about that. Yeah, Spriggs, Spriggs absolutely on target to pick up another P2. I think that'd be about number 5 for the season, roughly. I mean, he had 4 in a row, so it's either number 5 or number 6. So I think he might have had one elsewhere. Yeah. Always the bridesmaid. Nah, to be fair, he's done an absolutely incredible job as well. Blonde's debut today as well, remember, so we have no idea about him. If you take Blonde out of the equation, who's, you know, debuting as a reserve this evening, Spriggs will have won this race ahead of Spreader, Big D, Kamarov, a lot of them. He would have won this fair and square, showing really, really strong pace as well, so yeah, let's take a moment though. The debut from Mr. Blonde, as I will forever, he shall forever be known from this point forth to the end of time. It's actually hemorrhaging time, by the way. Oh, he's... Oh my word, what's happened? It looks like Blonde's disconnected. He's not on... Oh my goodness me, what's happened? An invite. Someone's not... I think he's had to switch off and on. Well... Oh dear. Now something more has happened. Spriggs has dropped down to P3. Have I disconnected or is this them? Oh my word. Well, on my screen, Blonde wins this race in AI at the end of it. Spreader P2, but Spriggs seems to disconnect and he's dropped the P3. Cammy P4, Big D5, Dragoon 6, Davis 7, Dark Lord 8, Axel 9. Atkins is coming round now for P10. He's had a good race today. There's Atkins. Well done, sir. Scott will follow across the line for P11. Dre. Not going on for Dre here today, but he's made up 6 places in the race and finishes points. P12. Goomba up 7 places. P13. Picks up some nice points. Misfit. P14. Just having a great race. You saw the spins later on. But, there we go. Dark Mark. So unlucky. So unlucky. He was doing really, really well in the race, but he's just... Unfortunately, Scott spun ahead of him and he just caught caught Scott as he spun, and it lost him his end plate, which meant he had to pit when he was on hards to start the race. So it just all wrong for him. Robbo P16, Operator 17, and Fatal Defiance is going to, at some point, finish this race in P18. You'll just be glad to see the back of Portimao as he does a little donut or two. So, there we go. Oh no! Oh, okay, Grezza. So, Spriggs ran out of fuel. He was ghosted because he was going slow. Oh, you're kidding! Well, fair play to him. He still picks up a podium position. Wow. So it makes a difference to the championship though, because it's allowed spreader up into P2. So was that the same for Blonde then as well? Did he run out of fuel? Is that why did he manage to get across the line still? Fatal hates it. Absolutely hates it. Never racing there ever again. Shaz says ouch. Yeah, so I assume then that's what happened to Blonde as well. I'll ask him in a minute. He takes fastest lap as well, by the way. Blonde 118.5. I'll just go through those so that we got it for the stream. But yeah, I see Red Bull, very disappointing. Very big shame to see them both retire out in the pits the way they did. But I don't know exactly what's happened there, so I won't go on about it too much. Scroll through the penalties, not much to go on there, to be fair, but just in case the stewards need them. And there we go. Right, let's get... Oh, hang on, pressed the wrong button. Let's get Blonde in. Hopefully he knows that there'll be a podium invite. Spread her in. And Spriggs him. Hopefully. Here they come. Hello. Alright. Yeah, you should be able to include your audio, I think. I did it around for the interview.
Yeah, don't get right.
Just waiting for the other two. I don't know if Blonde knows it. To come in, I've invited him.
Who do you need an invite for? But I don't have Blonde on Xbox.
Yeah, I've invented him. I invented him. I've invited him. And Spriggs.
There he is.
Send him another one. Blonde looks like Blonde's left the lobby. There's Spriggs anyway. All right, well we'll just do the two tonight then. That's fine. Okay, Spriggs, you there?
Hello.
Hello. Just include your audio first, please, mate. And
Yeah.
we'll have a quick chat. Well, I've got to come to you first because obviously you finished P3. So had you run out of fuel? Was that the issue at the end?
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh, nightmare.
Yeah. The one time I had under fuel. Just my luck.
Yeah. I mean, you drove an absolutely brilliant race. Showed absolutely great pace today, man. You really did. I mean,
Cheers,
just give us your point of view of the race today. How it went for you.
Yeah, absolutely love that start with spread there. Love the start. That was really fun. And to be honest, I couldn't relax the whole race, to be honest, because obviously, even if we had a gap to each other, obviously you're trying to get slightly better pace than the other, and to do that is so tough. So you're trying to just work out all the corners and everything like that, where to use this ERS, where to brake a bit later, etc. So that was really fun. I think I got a bit hopeful at the beginning when I saw that we had quite a big gap to obviously Blonde and whatnot, and we had a massive gap, I guess, to the others, I suppose. But once he got on the softs, I saw he was going for the softs after a while, and I realised, and I thought, oh no, because if there is a safety car, which I was hoping for, then obviously he'd pit and get the track position. But then if there wasn't, then obviously I'm screwed either way. So yeah, when I saw the strategy, I was like, oh, that's good tactic from him. And then after I saw he pitted, he was starting to come out when we weren't even nearly passed him yet. So I thought, yeah, he was doing really well actually. I think when he was on 22 lap old tires, he was still gaining time on me. So yeah,
He
he drove
set
a great
fast at the
race.
time. He set fastest lap of the race on 21 old hards.
Yeah,
So yeah, yeah, he was
yeah,
flying. He was flying.
yeah,
But yeah, and then
yeah,
obviously you're going past the pits. Well, both of you going past the pits, and you can see that he's almost at the exit. And
yeah.
yeah, and then I
From then,
think
you know, it's
you know
just
it's kind of a matter of time, don't you? Okay, on fresh
yeah,
sauce, and feel
yeah.
like a bit of a rabbit in the headlights sort of thing.
Definitely. I was
Uh,
getting excited when I saw yellow lines coming up on the track, thinking the safety car would come out, or a VSC at least, so I could just get some fuel back. But it just never materialized. So I was just like,
yeah.
yeah, it's all right.
Well, never mind. I mean, it dropped you down to P3, but you still picked up a podium. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
you did great, man. It was brilliant
cheers.
race.
Really
It's
appreciate it.
it's a shame, that that you dropped down at the end there, but still, it
Yeah,
was a really good race. So well done. Um,
cheers.
Spreader, comes to you. Obviously, you've benefited from that at the end, so you'll be grateful. It's helped you a little bit in the championship. Kemerov had a bit of a spin earlier on in the race that drops him down to P12. And
Oh
he's
yeah.
fought back through to he's fought back through to P4, so he's done really well. But obviously that's at the end has meant you gain a little bit more, which is handy for you in the championship and handy for us watching as well because we like to sit close. So that's great. Just talk us through your race as well, please, mate, if you could.
For qualifying for once, I finally put a lap together in Q3. The second lap, I was a tenth and a half up in sector one, and then made a mistake out the hairpin. So that one, I couldn't improve unfortunately. I allowed Spriggs into P2. I think I could have made it a bit closer had I done the lap, but nevertheless, we both got a solid start, either side of Blonde down to turn one, and yeah, give me the room in turn one. So I thought, why not hang it in there? And it's a great battle on that one. That they're still working out where the tyres are and the fuel is and stuff because I started with 2.5 laps over because it bit me
Yeah.
on Tuesday night. This place,
All
I
right.
ran out of fuel. I did exactly what Spriggs did tonight. I ran out of fuel on not last lap there to jump me for a podium on Tuesday. I wasn't making the same mistake, and yeah, other than that, like it was more tactical race than it was wheel to wheel. And like I said, working out the corners and who was using where, and then there were times when like Spriggs were pushing, and you could see the gap open up, and times then when I would like just recharging, sitting back a bit, working something out, and then I go again, and they see the gap tumble back down to like 1.8, and then then obviously he'd have been charging a bit because he'd have relaxed a bit with a 2.5 second. Then he push again, and it was all mind games. But I just couldn't get
Yeah,
back into that DRS, and that's what proved the difference, I think. So no fair play. It weren't for the fuel. It deservedly would have got P2.
I appreciate that,
Yeah.
We'll take anything we get,
mate. Yeah,
and of
it
course
makes your
Jack is
battle
in
more
P4.
exciting. Makes
Yeah.
your championship battle more exciting.
It does that, and Andy got a good finish as well. Dartward up in, I think he was P7 or P8 or something. So I
Yeah.
mean, he's picked up good points over Gumber, and I've picked up a few over Jack. So that'll help us out in the constructors. Probably just open our gap up that bit more. So yeah, all round
Yeah.
good race.
Yeah. So in fact, you're only 9 tenths off the win in the end, because
Oh
presumably I think
What?
Blonde must have ran out of fuel as well. I'm not sure
no, he
because
disconnected.
he disconnected today because I did try and invite him
Mhm.
back because it said he was it
Yeah.
said he was offline, so I assume he actually properly
If only I had the
disappeared.
fuel
So
in. Oh no.
yeah,
Oh, you'd have
um,
lost a lot there.
but I don't think everything's gonna get taken off in there so close to the end. But
Nah,
yeah, and
No.
he deserved it.
yeah,
Yeah,
and I
nailed it.
think I haven't awarded it yet, but I think I've got him my driver of the day as well. He was penalty free,
Yeah,
and
to be fair.
he was the way he was still extending the gap on those old hards was extremely impressive. So yeah, I think
It was
there's others
incredible
out there as
driving,
well.
but
I'd like to give Gumba a shout out. Who's finished 13th today, but he's up 7 places and penalty free.
hey,
So he had a really good race. among so many others. There's so many I could shout out, and I won't go through everyone,
Yeah.
but there was some really good races out there, and I think that was one of the best races of the season, by the way. So fair play to the whole league, really. That was brilliant. No safety cars around Portimao is a very good result. A shame for the two Red Bulls, unfortunately, both retiring in the pits. And that's, I guess that get looked at, but there we go. All right then, I guess that's it. So, right, well, thank you to everybody that's watched along with us. It's been really good viewers tonight, so thank you very much for that, and keeping me entertained throughout as well. Thanks to everybody that watches back at a later point. It's been, again, the views have been awesome for weeks and weeks now, so thank you ever so much, everybody, guys. The couple of people doing subscriptions today as well, so thank you to you guys. Robbo and Whale, thank you very much. Always appreciated, guys, as you know. Anyway, guys, I'll be back. What day is it now? It's Friday, so I'm racing tomorrow. So I'll be back on Sunday, 6 o'clock for wheel spin racing, and 8 p.m. for HRF1. So please tune in for those, and I'll see you then. Good night, God bless, enjoy your weekends, have a good laugh, and enjoy life.